gonna drink coffee, stop pucks, and hopefully not die on the ice.
I like the plan.
Can I get 2 extra large coffees? Can I get 10 packs of hockey cards?
Women's toilets aren't flushing. Okay, just give them. Okay, I'll go in and take
Breakfast is done. Off to the rink.
First warm-up drill we're gonna do once we're ready is gonna get you mid-crease right in your butterfly, 60-70%ers to your trapper. Okay. Let's just seal them in, turn your face into the puck. You're gonna throw your stick on top of the net, and I want you to get your feet going. So obviously when we're set, we're gonna be much better at stopping pucks. What I'm gonna ask you to do is to get out to about here and back to the goal line, quick as you can, forwards and backwards, as if you're doing like an initial challenge on a breakaway and a retreat as they come in. And the guy opts to shoot. So he's gonna sweep these flat on the ice. Really weird for people when they don't have their stick, and they're super reliant on their stick in a lot of cases, to the detriment of actually having good butterfly mechanics in behind it. And that happens often on a breakaway. You step out, guy's coming, you're starting to back up with him, and just when you're into your retreat, he decides to quick piss pump you without any warning, and you still have to be able to drive a nice butterfly with your knees in that position. I want to get into the karate bag stuff. Again, the whole premise is this isn't going to happen to this degree in the game, but there's going to be some degree of screening. And ideally, if we can battle and compete on this, nobody's going to get you in a game where you're going to have. Again with the toe save, that one's got to get on the video. That's filthy there. Good job, Trav. Can I see that stick for a sec? Never shot the bower. Let me see one of those, Matt. Oh, muffin. Not a bad stick. I like more tape on it though than.
I don't know how goalies do that. It's better, like if I'm puck down, it's sort of like this, it gives momentum so I can kind of.
Right.
Because the blade doesn't interfere and I grip.
Why you know time is a factor. If you're saucing, it's because there's a guy there. You never sauce a pass unless there's a guy there. Hard as you go. Go. Quick feet. That's one. That's two. All right, stop. So you naturally, instinctively, are back behind that blue line a little bit with your feet. There and back 5 times, don't touch my pucks. Ready? Go. Harder.
drill that Steve and I worked on was all about body control. Upper body, lower body, taking a guy who's big, like myself, 6'5", and controlling the entire body in a very confined space with those two pucks, literally my entire wingspan apart. Now this is very difficult as a big guy because, well, there's a lot of wingspan, there's a lot of moving parts, a lot of body parts, there's a lot of weight, there's a lot of everything. Mitch Korn has also worked with Robin Leonard on a lot of body control as well last season with the Islanders. Controlling the body in a confined space is something that I really do think my game needs a lot of work on. Q&A questions yesterday were awesome. Got some great answers out of Steve. I got some more questions I want to fire Steve's way. We're going to do another Q&A. We're going to grab some lunch first because I'm absolutely starving. We just finished our ice time. And then we're going to do the Q&A. All the questions that you asked Steve on the Instagram poll about coaching for the Toronto Maple Leafs, pro hockey, advice for goaltenders, all that coming up. Food looks fantastic. Thank you very much. I feel like there should be somebody in that chair. Ah, much better. What is the biggest difference between somebody who makes it and somebody who doesn't make it?
This is one of the things that drives people crazy. There's a million people that are good enough to be in the NHL, but they're not good enough often enough. And that's why you'll see guys in beer leagues that can do the same thing NHL goalies can on any given shot, but they can't do it under pressure enough, and they can't do it consistently repeatable game in, game out, 9 games out of 10.
Tom Crawford, 44. What are the best ways to learn proper technique if you don't have access to a goalie coach? Or like we talked about watching the game film.
A couple things you can do. You can download my free book, which is 350 pages, a million pictures, a million descriptions, a million articles, or text me or call me directly and I can help you out personally.
What's the book called?
It's called Essential Goaltending.
M. Quinn, 26. What do you focus on training in a goalie prospect?
With the prospect, you want them all to be on the same page as far as the puck handling expectations of the team, so that both the junior level, American League, East Coast League, NHL level, we're all using similar communication, same concepts there. Everybody has to be responsible for the work ethic off the ice and the professionalism and avoiding social media with anything controversial.
Sam Laidlaw, what is the strongest component of Freddie Anderson's game?
I think his composure and his simplicity to his game. He doesn't do a lot and he uses his size and he stays very consistent that way. And that's why you see him through the course of the season. He's pretty consistent day in, day out because he's not doing anything super creative. I think number one, people that get into slumps become a self-fulfilling prophecy where they recognize they're in a slump and they keep telling themselves they're in a slump and they think they're in a slump and they keep hearing they're in a slump and then they stay in a slump. So you just have to race that hard drive and just be thinking about how tight your skates are, what color the centerman's tape, anything that can bring you into the present. There's no slumps in the present. There's only slumps when you're thinking about the past. A starting goalie is a guy that has an elite level of professionalism related to preparation consistently, also being able to deliver that peak performance on that 9 game out of 10 basis. A backup, you want him to win at least half your games, whereas the starter, he's going to be a much higher win rate, 750, 800.
And this is junior, college, pro.
All of them.
What's the hardest thing to teach a goalie at the NHL level?
I think the hardest thing at that level is patience and waiting. The guys there have so many elite skill sets for holding and waiting on the goalie, so too many goalies are elbows and rear ends all over the place at junior, and to refine that into more control and patience is the toughest thing to teach an NHL goalie.
When scouting at the National Hockey League level, what do you look for in a goalie?
Size, competitiveness, and athleticism.
Why is Frederik Andersen so good?
Because of his height and size and his composure that goes with it and his just unflappability.
Cam Foster, 123. How do you find a goalie that fits within the team?
That's not really an approach that scouts take. They try to find the best goalie that's available, and there's not any real consideration to what's going to fit into the team. If you stop the puck and win at a .920 save percentage, you'll fit into any team.
Jonah TW, Steve, how you doing?
Right now, my lower back's a little sore.
Any reason why?
I just been in a car doing a goalie clinic for 6 hours.
Tony Wedinger, 31. Who has been the best goalie that you have ever coached, and who has been the most productive with learning?
The best goalie I've ever coached is, I always think it's going to be the next one I see. And so that could have been a 7-year-old I coached this morning or a 23-year-old I'm going to coach tomorrow. It's always, in my mind, the best goalie I've coached is always the next one. Because as a coach, you don't want to live in the past on who you've coached.
Kieran SSSR, what's the best part of your job?
That I don't work and I just play road hockey and get paid a lot of money for it. During tryouts, I always tell people that you can't just fit in the middle of the bell curve. You got to be, clearly dominant. And goaltending, you can't just force that. So first on the ice, last off the ice, make sure you're controlling rebounds, simple, safe plays. And make sure you're kicking everybody's butt in any skating drill. So find out who the incumbent is there and kick his butt in skating drills, and just be right by the starter all the time, so the scouts and the coaches see you in their mind's eye with the starter.
And what are you working on right now as a coach?
I'm just working on drone footage. I'm going to start my own YouTube channel. I'm going to do controversial reviews about hockey equipment and crushed sticks on the crossbar, and that's, I think there's an absence of that online right now. I want to try to get into that. Is it going to make it in there? That's all I want to know.
I think so. I'm gonna put like a flashing picture of my face, and I'm gonna like nail it to a cross.
Yeah. If I can't bust your balls, Trav. Like,
Trav here, your friend. Now, Christmas is right around the corner. Christmas is a special time for a lot of us, myself included. There's no better place that you're going to want to get a Christmas gift for somebody than sidelineswap.com. We're talking pro return, we're talking new, we're talking used, we're talking what the pros wear. Guys in the show, guys in the national, guys in the CHL and NCAA use. Available at sidelineswap.com. Sidelineswap.com does not sell you stuff. They are a marketplace for people to come together to buy stuff. So you actually talk to a real person, communicate with them, maybe learn a thing or two about gear too. Sidelineswap.com is the best place to buy all of your Christmas gifts this calendar season. I would highly recommend you go there, and I will see you in the next video in 2 to 3 days, depending on what video cycle we're rolling. See you then.